Hey, Nico Alvarez here, and today we're going to talk about adversity, how it affects us, but with a philosophical twist. But first, let me throw a couple situations at you. When you were young, you ever ride a skateboard, a bike, rollerblades, or maybe even a scooter, and you fall down and get hurt? Maybe you were on a sports team, and you're going up against your rivals. It was real close, but you guys lost. Maybe you're in the schoolyard, and you got in a fight, and maybe you lost that too. I know we can all relate to these things, some more than others. I know I sure can. I am no stranger to adversity. Let it be losing my eyesight at 22, losing a parent at 19, or getting incarcerated for some I didn't really do. I'm also very familiar with this topic because it has to do with my final for a philosophy class. Today we will be diving into the world of philosophy, specifically John Hick's soul-making theodicy. We will talk about some key vocab, the atheist problem of evil. We'll talk about John Hick's thesis and assumption, as well as its main concepts. With that being said, let's dive into it. Here we are in the vocab corner, and we're going to go over 3 terms so you have an idea of what I'm talking about. The first is theodicy. What is it? A theodicy, in short, is a defense of God in the face of the atheist problem of evil. Secondly, moral evil. What is it? Moral evil is the decisions that we make to do bad, such as if your relationship, maybe you cheat, walking up to someone, slapping them in the face, or maybe even committing crime, robbing a bank. Then there's the third and last is natural evil. These are the things that we can't control, such as earthquakes, tsunamis, tornadoes, or maybe diseases such as coronavirus, plagues, and the such. Now that we've covered some key terms, let's dive into and set up the groundwork for John Hick's argument. The atheist problem of evil. Michael Thune states from the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy that the atheist problem of evil is, well, if there's an all-knowing, all-powerful, all-good God, why does he allow bad things to happen? Atheists can't seem to wrap their head around this, so they think either God is not all good, God is all not going, or more often than not, there's no such thing as God. Now that we've covered the atheist problem of evil, let's dive into his assumption and thesis statement. Bill Jenkins states from his Marywood University course on John Hick's soul-making theodicy that John Hick makes an assumption that human goodness is made through mastering temptation and responsible decisions throughout life. I feel that's pretty fair to say. Bill Jenkins also states that John Hick's thesis statement is that human goodness is also accomplished through a slow, long, and difficult soul-making process in which evil is a necessary part of it, and also that humans are born morally deficient. Now that we've covered this, let's break down some of the main key concepts. John Peepo states from his online course, John Hick's Soul-Making Theodicy, that first Hick makes another assumption, of course, that God is real. Secondly, that this God made his presence or existence at an epistemic distance, which pretty much means it's not clear, it's somewhat vague. We're not sure, is he watching us? Is there a God? I don't know, maybe, depending on what religion you practice. The reason for this is that if we look up in the sky, oh man, God's watching me, you're more inclined to do the right thing. That with God making existence at an epistemic distance, any goodness or values that we have would be more pure. Secondly, that this same God purposefully made an imperfect world full of pain, suffering, and evil. Hicks argues that anti-theist or atheist writers often confuse heaven, or what heaven ought to be, for what the world should be. That anti-theist writers or philosophical philosophers say that the world should be hedonistic in value, basically a place where it's focused on self-indulgent pleasure and there's no pain, suffering, or evil. In the third point, John Hick argues this is not God's purpose. For God's purpose is that there needs to be evil for the circumstances to be where we can have moral growth. Let me explain. So first of all, if God took away evil, that would affect our free will and our freedom, because we wouldn't know what that is. We wouldn't have the option to walk up, shake someone's hand, or again, slap them in the face. That this, it can basically summed up in my own words. Imagine you have a gold ore. You have it straight, okay, oh, it's kind of dirty. Got this. Well, you put it in the fire, in the refinery, the product that comes out is more pure. Okay, put it in there again, and you're taking out the impurities. And in that is a way I can sum up the soul-making process. That the reason why we need to know what good is because we know what bad is. The same reason we know what hot is because of what cold is. So all in all, that's the three main concepts. So congratulations. You've had a crash course in philosophy, primarily John Hick's soul-making theodicy. We went over key concepts. We went over key vocabulary, John Hick's assumption and thesis, and let's not forget the atheist problem of evil. So with that said, what do you think? Should the world be hedonistic or is evil necessary? Tell me what you think. All right, guys, have a good one.